Gangs control entire neighborhoods, and these gangs from El Salvador are now operating in nearly every corner of America.
What happens when El Salvador's most notorious killers think they can disappear into small-town America? Federal agents just answered that question with the most devastating blow to MS-13's leadership structure in recent history. We're talking about high-ranking assassins who triggered international manhunts, sparked Interpol alerts, and left a trail of bodies across two nations, all captured in a single operation that proves nowhere is safe for international criminals. Stay until the end to see the shocking evidence that led to their downfall and why this takedown changes everything in the fight against transnational gangs. Before we continue, be sure to hit that subscribe button because that fuels the effort that goes behind these videos. Let's break it down. Operation MS-13. Takedown, and what it reveals about the criminal networks that have been hiding in America's heartland. While Omaha families slept safely, federal agents were closing in on two of the world's most wanted killers. In a stunning operation that shook the foundations of MS-13's leadership structure, ICE Homeland Security Investigations in Omaha arrested a high-ranking member of MS-13 who was listed among El Salvador's top 100 most wanted fugitives. This wasn't just any gang member. This was a Salvadoran national wanted for the aggravated homicide of 5 victims, attempted aggravated homicide, deprivation of liberty, and terrorist organization affiliation. The operation didn't stop there. Federal agents also apprehended an MS-13 associate who was residing with the kingpin, both living illegally in the United States. This associate, Rene Saul Escobar Ochoa, is a known MS-13 gang member and foreign terrorist also wanted in El Salvador. According to authorities, Escobar Ochoa gave orders to fellow gang members to commit various crimes, including multiple homicides, extortion, imprisonment, and drug trafficking. This wasn't a simple immigration violation case. This was the culmination of a multi-year federal investigation using sophisticated database analysis and surveillance techniques. The arrest required coordination between ICE HSI, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and international partners who had been tracking these fugitives for over a decade. What makes this case particularly shocking is that one of these dangerous fugitives appears on El Salvador's 100 most wanted fugitives list and is wanted for 5 counts of murder. U.S. authorities had previously convicted him for illegally crossing the border, yet he managed to establish himself in the American heartland, far from where most would expect to find international terrorists. The Nebraska State Patrol's Nebraska Information Analysis Center developed crucial intelligence on the MS-13 gang members' presence in Omaha and shared that information with federal partners such as ICE at the Department of Homeland Security, which ultimately led to these high-profile arrests. This was a calculated expansion into America's most unexpected hiding places. What federal agents discovered about how MS-13 operates reveals a sophisticated criminal enterprise with global reach. The fugitives were hiding in plain sight in Omaha, Nebraska, about as far from the southern border as one could imagine. This strategic choice highlights MS-13's evolving tactics. They're no longer concentrated only in major coastal cities or border regions. They're deliberately establishing footholds in America's heartland, where they believe law enforcement attention might be less intense. What began as a routine traffic stop by a Douglas County Sheriff's deputy on July 6th turned into something far more significant. The deputy, following standard procedure, ran the name of the driver, Escobar Ochoa, through the El Paso Intelligence Center. The system immediately flagged him as being on an MS-13 watch list, setting in motion the operation that would lead to the capture of one of El Salvador's most wanted criminals. These MS-13 leaders weren't operating in isolation. They were maintaining communication with their international network while keeping a deliberately low profile in Nebraska. They established residences in areas where they could blend in, avoiding the attention that might come with flashier lifestyles. Their operational security measures included using associates to conduct business and maintaining strict communication protocols to avoid detection. What makes this case particularly disturbing is that Nebraska communities had no idea they were harboring such dangerous fugitives. One of these men had been wanted for over a decade by El Salvador for 5 counts of murder, yet was living freely among unsuspecting American families. U.S. Assistant Special Agent Elric Cerdan noted, "It appears that he was here for several years, and he has been wanted by El Salvador for over a decade."
And Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security investigations say they arrested a high-ranking member of the violent MS-13 gang who was listed among El Salvador's top 100 most wanted fugitives on Wednesday, right here in Nebraska.
The implications of this case go far beyond just removing 2 dangerous criminals from an American community. This capture exposes MS-13's fatal flaw, thinking America's heartland was beyond federal reach. The strategic significance of this operation cannot be overstated. For years, MS-13 has been expanding its operations across the United States, establishing cliques in unexpected locations. They've operated under the assumption that small-town America provides a safe haven from the intense scrutiny they might face in known gang territories. This operation shatters that assumption. This case demonstrates the remarkable level of international cooperation required to track and capture transnational criminals. The Department of Homeland Security, ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, the Nebraska State Patrol, local sheriff's departments, and Salvadoran authorities all played crucial roles in identifying and apprehending these fugitives. This coordinated approach is essential for combating criminal organizations that operate across international boundaries. The operation also highlights the sophisticated intelligence capabilities of federal agencies. By analyzing immigration databases, monitoring international fugitive alerts, and coordinating with local law enforcement, federal authorities were able to track down criminals who had evaded capture for over a decade. This intelligence victory sends a powerful message to other international fugitives who might be considering similar tactics. The arrests serve as a deterrent to other international criminals who might view America's interior as a potential hiding place. The message is clear. Federal reach extends to every corner of the country. No matter how far from the border or how small the community, international fugitives cannot escape the long arm of American law enforcement. Most importantly, this operation has made American communities safer. By removing terrorist-affiliated killers from American neighborhoods, federal agents have prevented future violence. MS-13 is known for its brutality and for recruiting vulnerable youth into its ranks. Removing leadership figures disrupts this cycle of violence and recruitment. These arrests strike at the leadership structure of the gang, removing key figures who coordinate criminal activities across multiple countries. The loss of such leaders creates disarray within the organization and forces others to step into roles where they may be more vulnerable to detection. According to law enforcement data, MS-13 has more than 10,000 members regularly conducting gang activities in at least 10 states and Washington, D.C., with thousands more operating in Central America and Mexico. The organization is structured around cliques, each with leaders commonly referred to as shot callers. By targeting these leadership figures, federal authorities can disrupt multiple criminal operations simultaneously. ICE officials stressed the public safety mission underlying this operation. The message from federal authorities is clear. America will not tolerate violent international criminals establishing safe havens in our communities. The operation specifically prioritized removing dangerous gang leaders who posed immediate threats to public safety. Authorities reported that MS-13 operates through intimidation and violence, including murder, to enrich members and associates through criminal activities.
Understand, and it's appalling, truly appalling, that there has been so much time covering this alleged human trafficker and this gang member, MS-13 gang member. It's truly striking to me.
Earlier, is this the poster boy that Democrats want to put all of their effort behind their political capital? Do you want to expend it on this particular individual who has allegations of human trafficking, of MS-13 connections, all of those things?
These include breaking into houses to steal firearms, jewelry, and cash, as well as trafficking narcotics. The organization's brutal tactics make it a particular threat to the communities where it operates. This operation is both a victory and a warning. Yes, Nebraska is safer today with these dangerous fugitives off the streets, but the presence of such high-level international criminals in America's heartland reveals how deeply transnational gangs have penetrated American communities. The ability of fugitives wanted for multiple murders to establish themselves in unsuspecting communities demonstrates the sophisticated evasion tactics employed by MS-13 leaders. The operation also highlights the importance of cooperation between federal agencies and local law enforcement. What began as a routine traffic stop by a county deputy ultimately led to the capture of international fugitives. This coordinated approach proved essential to dismantling networks that crossed multiple jurisdictions and international boundaries. As ICE officials stated, this is an ongoing battle against criminal networks that prey on American communities. The arrests are a major disruption, but these criminal alliances adapt quickly. They view American communities as territories to be exploited for their criminal enterprises, constantly evolving their tactics to avoid detection. So what does this mean for American families? It means recognizing that violent international gangs are no longer confined to border regions or major coastal cities. They're establishing operations in communities across the country, including small towns and suburban areas where residents might not expect to find such dangerous criminals. Communities need to support ICE operations that prioritize public safety. The success of this operation demonstrates what can be accomplished when federal resources are directed toward removing the most dangerous criminals from our neighborhoods. The information sharing between local, state, and federal agencies proved crucial to identifying and apprehending these fugitives. This operation in Nebraska should serve as a wake-up call. The fight against transnational criminal organizations is not confined to border states. It's a nationwide issue that requires coordination at all levels of law enforcement. The presence of El Salvador's most wanted criminals in Omaha demonstrates how these organizations can penetrate deep into American territory. Federal agents discovered that MS-13 has been deliberately establishing footholds in unexpected locations to evade law enforcement attention. They've developed sophisticated methods for helping international fugitives disappear into American communities, providing them with resources, connections, and protection. This level of organization makes them particularly dangerous and difficult to track. ICE just proved that no corner of America is safe for international killers. From El Salvador's most wanted list to Nebraska handcuffs, this is federal law enforcement at its finest. By focusing on individuals with violent criminal histories, particularly those wanted for multiple murders, ICE is fulfilling its mission to protect American communities from harm. Criminal networks continue adapting, using immigration loopholes to embed gang leaders in American communities. That's why it's more important than ever to support ICE operations that prioritize public safety, dismantle criminal networks, and restore security to American families. ICE officials emphasize that operations targeting MS-13 leadership will continue throughout the country. The agency remains committed to identifying, apprehending, and removing criminal non-citizens, particularly those who are wanted for violent crimes in their home countries. This operation represents not just a tactical success, but a strategic shift in how America fights transnational criminal organizations. By targeting leadership figures wherever they hide, federal agencies have demonstrated their commitment to dismantling entire criminal ecosystems rather than just arresting individual offenders. Do you support ICE's expansion into rural America to capture international fugitives? Should federal agents have unlimited jurisdiction to pursue MS-13 leaders hiding in our communities? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more breaking ICE raids, international fugitive captures, and MS-13 takedown updates, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story that exposes the fight to protect America.